A warm welcome to our autumn Totum talks. I'm very pleased today to be joined by Stephen Allen of DLA Piper and Mark Smith of LexisNexis. They've both come along today to share some of their views on what is going on in a very changing and rapidly developing legal sector.
My name is Stephen Allen. I'm the Head of Market Strategies at DLA Piper. My role is international, which means I work with DLA globally, save for the Americas. My role is three-pronged. One is looking at how we position ourselves and how we price our work in the market. There's a lot of work around fixed pricing, right pricing, that sort of thing. The second part of my role is around making the firm more efficient, so process re-engineering the work we do today for clients so we can do that more effectively. And then the third part of the role is more long-term, which is what's our delivery model need to look like in 3 to 5 years' time.
So I'm Mark Smith from LexisNexis, and I'm the Market Development Director for large law firms, which means I am effectively the voice of the market, the voice of the customer within our business, and it's my job to really understand the market and know what's going on, know what our customers need. After I qualified, I practiced as a lawyer for 10 years. I worked in national and city firms and then moved in-house to an American outsourcing company where I looked after their international team. And after that, I did an MBA and moved into the business and then spent some time consulting with law firms and working for a legal process outsourcer before I joined LexisNexis.
Just picking up on that the value point again, we talk to people who do pricing roles in law firms and they talk about value-based pricing. Can you just sort of give me a bit on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think again, it tends to be at the moment when people talk about value-based pricing as a proportion to the overall size of the transaction. So quite often you talk about value-based pricing. So this is a $2 billion deal. So therefore, what roughly would the legals look like on a $2 billion deal? And I think clients see that and they understand the need that on a bigger deal, you've probably got more heft to carry costs. Yeah. I think what you'll see is, as the market opens up, you see different people coming into the market, and again, Mark's heard me bash on about this for ages. I think, talked about big data. I think the other area to bring in is behavioural economists into law firms and looking at the outcomes that certain activities drive. Value-based pricing will be about the outcome, and that's quite regardless of the size of the transaction. It's the value it delivers back to the business.
I can give you a very tangible example of that. So when I was in-house, I had two particular sets of issues where I went to external law firms. The first was updating a set of terms and conditions that we regularly use in the business. Went to a city law firm for that, and let's say for the sake of argument it was 10 hours on an hourly rate of £300. £3,000 cost the business. Within the same month I had an issue on a corporate transaction that was to do with the takeover code that required immediate response from a dual qualified US-UK corporate lawyer who could get on the phone, advise our general counsel and board within an hour. Total amount of time, less than 10 hours. The amount of value that created for our business was significant, absolutely fundamental. And to charge that on the same hourly rate basis as the other, just the value, the two things are hugely different.
And I think you actually need to price for a piece of work as in what is this piece of work worth, and then work out how you're going to resource it. And what tends to be the model at the moment is you look at the resourcing model based on a set of assumptions that may or may not be correct, and then the price is built up of those component parts, and actually all that does is it drives the value in the wrong way on that.
Just picking up on other aspects that the GCs may talk about. I mean, we, in spite of all this consolidation that's going on, there are lots of law firms out there. What's your view on sort of genuine differentiation between the different types of law firms?
So that's a great question. My sense is, I think the two biggest challenges facing UK law firms, the large law firms today, are one, how change adaptive are they? That's the first one, and the second one is how do they differentiate themselves? And law firms always talk about how different they are, but in reality the fact is lawyer A can be recruited on Friday from law firm A and go into law firm B on Monday and do the same job. And that begs the question for me, how different are the firms really?
I mean, the only differentiator mainly in the market at the moment is price. If you look at any major survey of clients globally, technical competence is a very low hygiene factor because it's just assumed. So differentiation is not about being better lawyers than the next firm, and actually has to be not about doing the legal advice at all. If anything, the legal advice is an input into delivering a product, and that product has to deliver something more than a contract or a piece of litigation. It has to deliver something much more towards the value bottom line, and therefore needs to leverage what key unique features does your firm have. So it might be that you're a really niche specialist firm and you have an ability to leverage that and you need to talk about it. But I think firms tend to water down today, partly because they don't understand, and partly because legal is still one of the only industries that we worry more about what our competitors think than what our clients think. So the idea of sticking our necks on the line and saying we are the premium firm at this because we're worried what our competitors think, where actually it's a clear differentiator is clear. But I think Mark's absolutely right, and we're working on a big project at the moment around how do we take what is unique about our firm, about DLA Piper, and how do we turn that into a product or set of products for which the legal delivery is just a component of, but not the end game.
Stephen, Mark, thank you very much.